Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. And while Karma explains why the CDL are fumbling the bag at the present time, there's also been a fair bit of discussion as to which team is going to dethrone the current champions Atlanta FaZe going into next year. OpTic Texas seemingly coming out at the top of that list. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting the like button is the best thing you can too. Top this channel to reach new people. And please consider subscribing as well if you have not yet already. Firstly, this from Doug Santa Martin, just kind of looking at what's going on maybe in the Halo side right now. I miss the days where you can be a Call of Duty aspiring pro player and simply enter a LAN tourney and prove to the world why you belong. Nowadays things are different, more difficult, political and exclusive. The harder the challenge, the more I embrace said obstacle, says Doug Santa Martin. So maybe he'll get a sub spot somewhere on our team for this season. It's kind of tough to say, but maybe that's a possibility. I know of course he wants to be a starter. I wonder if he would take a sub spot over actually just grinding through challenges to try and get his opportunity that way. But we'll talk about some of the subs that have yet been confirmed. There's not so many here in just a few minutes time. This also I wanted to mention because I believe Lottie may have changed her bio. I couldn't find it on Spoonbill, but I feel like I looked at this a couple of days ago and it said host of the Call of Duty League and Halo or something like that. Now, I must have said Call of Duty League at some point because he was the host of the CDL last season. Now that is gone. Of course, look, all these people, all the talents, they like, it's so last minute that the CDL actually gets involved to get these contracts sorted out. So I guess right now, like neither Maven, Merc, any of these guys are signed to be casters for next year, we think. Now, of course, Lottie, I imagine, is in a similar boat, but she used to host Halo way before she started doing Call of Duty, kind of moved over here just because, just because Halo was completely dead right for a few years. Now she's back doing the Halo stuff right for HCS Raleigh, and maybe that'll be what she decides to do going forward, right? She could, of course, still come back to the Call of Duty League, but yeah, if she does go back to Halo, probably an indication of the wider scene at the present time. And also Karma was talking about this, right? There was a clip that came out a couple of days ago when he was watch partying the actual stream itself, and he was saying, look, you know, Lottie going back to Halo, that wouldn't really surprise him, right? Given the fact that, there's really nothing going on in Call of Duty right now, and Activision are straight up fumbling the bag with competitive Call of Duty. Of course, they're not fumbling the bag in terms of Warzone, but I'm sure, like, if any of the Activision and CDL guys are watching this event, as I'm sure they would have been, like, they're probably thinking, okay, there might be some better things we could do here. Maybe we should give Adam aBeZy a call and get him back in business.
Versus Sentinels.
Lottie leaving COD? Probably not.
What a rematch is going to be.
I mean, there ain't for her to do, right?
Going on my arms. We had it a few moments ago in our previous series as well, but what a
Like, be honest, bro.
there is behind this series.
What is there to care about competitive COD right now? What is there to care about? There's not a single thing in the world care about for competitive COD right now. Like, they are just fumbling the bag.
That's absolutely the case. This is the biggest storyline coming.
The game sucks. It ain't fun to watch.
I have seen this series before. You at home have seen this series before. 3-0 OpTic.
There's no reason to watch it. There's nothing competitive to watch. They got a what'd you guys call him? Anti-Santa Claus running around the map killing people, and he was spawning in private matches. Like, yo, nice. Yo, let's go scrim, guys. Mid map, trying to break a hard point. Santa Claus spawns.
So the pros last night actually started scrimming control again, it seems. At least some of the pros did. Because, I think they've tried to make... I don't know if they've really made any changes yet to control or actually tried to improve the game mode. But it's obviously not great right now. But still, there are being some changes. Like the CDL did come out and say, of course, it's only a month away until the kickoff event. They said in the blog post that, like, yes, control is going to be the third game mode for this year. So, like, that is now officially confirmed. Therefore, the pros are like, okay, well, probably we should actually start practicing it. Now, this I thought was incredible, right? You can see Arcitys gets a nice little 2Bs right here, and his teammates are calling out, like, you know, why are you not peeking, right? What's going on here? Because of course FaZe, they were the dominant control team of last season. But look at this, when he's capturing the point, it just says on the middle of his screen exactly what's going on the whole time, so he just can't see through his crosshair. Like, it's just incredible, isn't it? You really can't make this stuff up. As he's trying to capture, it's contested. He can't actually see down his red dot sight because there's something completely in the way. So it's like, okay, how does this even happen? I don't really understand it. But like, it's so many things like this. It's like, okay, if they actually play tested the game, surely they would find this stuff out. But maybe they don't. I really don't understand it. But still, our season, the guys are trying to have a good time playing control. That, I imagine, is a pretty difficult time. This also I thought was kind of funny because, like, Hasbullah and I don't know who the other kid is here, to be honest, but they were having, like, some sort of fight or whatever. And there was, like, some funny replies. People were quote tweeting this saying, like, you know, Simp and aBeZy having a good go. Like, this, you know, boxing match or whatever this was, and these guys fighting in the crowds. And, well, as Simp and aBeZy, you know, are you all good? There's beef in our camp, says Simp. So, of course, like, the vibes on this team generally very good indeed. And, well, that is one of the big obstacles, really, to anyone actually actually taking them down next year. Not only on paper do they have the most monstrous talent, but also like the vibes and the culture within the team seems to be very solid in terms of work ethic, but also just well, chemistry in general has obviously been very good with these guys for many years. The question is, which team is the most likely roster to take them down going into next season? Pretty much every team has built a team to try and take down FaZe. Everyone knows FaZe are the deadliest squad. Their record last season was absurd. Out of the 6 events, including champs, they won 4 of them, including some of them in incredibly dominant fashion. They had, I'm pretty sure, the highest series win streak of the season at like 11 series wins in a row at a time. It was just monstrous stuff. Now, will they be as good at Vanguard as they are at Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War? Like, that is somewhat tough to say. You'd imagine there might be some sort of regression to the mean in terms of maybe they were just ridiculously good at Cold War. This year they'll be really damn good, maybe not quite as good. Even though from some of the things I saw from Simp early on in this title, he might even be better at this game than he was at Cold War. But there was some talk coming out on the flank. They were discussing Dashy and some of the maybe issues with his work ethic and stuff, like they always tend to talk about this at some point or another. But Ben was like, and the rest of the guys are like, Dashy's a phenomenally talented player, and Ben actually reckons that, look, OpTic, if there's any team right now that have the best chance to take down FaZe, it might well be OpTic Texas going into next year.
Topics, dude. To that point, Ant, I think that team's got a lot of storylines, and I know if we want to dive in on that, like that Texas team,
Let's wait for the season. Let's wait for the season.
One of the best situations, like career-wise, that they've ever been in with the right support. Like, if there's any opportunity where that team's gonna dethrone like the current champions in the league, it's gonna be that team.
Yeah, let's wait for the season. There we go. We'll do that.
Wait for the season, and may I also add that every talented player, man, and everybody in the league has negatives to them. So no matter what is being said on a show or anything like that, you guys got to understand that we're just like giving our honest opinions on players, and you have to, you said besides Simp, but you got to understand that every player is going to have weaknesses in their book, man. Like it's hard to find a perfect player. So, you know, don't be too hard on some of these players if things are said negatively about them. Even with Ben and the whole Dashy stuff, the last thing I'll say about it is like, Ben thinks Dashy's a great player. Dashy's a good player. We all love Dashy. There's negatives to everybody.
And I think this is a very reasonable assessment. I think Toronto are certainly there or thereabouts. The problem is, though, we kind of saw last year that, I think it might have to be a new team that comes down to take down FaZe. Just because last season, like at Toronto, they got the better of FaZe a couple of times. They beat them in the grand finals right at the Stage 2 major. But outside of that, they generally just fell short to FaZe. Pretty much every other team did. So that's the thing. There's probably not going to be one team like that comes to and actually beats FaZe consistently that was actually a roster last year already. Like, you can't really see a world where Toronto and Minnesota, they come in this year and are actually just a straight up better team than FaZe, and they beat them in more matches than FaZe beat them in, right? Because it's, you know, you look at last year and you just think, okay, FaZe, maybe Toronto beat them in quite a few series, right? Or however many times they match up, but FaZe are probably still going to be the better team just because they both have the same rosters that they did last season. Now, OpTic Texas, on the other hand, or LA Thieves, or Los Angeles Guerrillas, any of these other teams, New York Subliners, that have made changes and should theoretically be very good, they could certainly be the team to dethrone them. And I think a lot of people are looking at OpTic as the team that actually could do that this year, just because of the firepower they have theoretically. Dashy is the man they are. Illy, like we know, he's incredibly talented, but also a great team player and really does a lot for a squad outside of just putting up numbers, which he is going to have to do to a degree, but the rest of the team may well do that for him, to be honest, with Scump on the SMG, who's been looking phenomenal so far, and then Shotzzy, you can never look past him. So just in terms of SMG duo, Shotzzy and Scump have got to be right up there, and well, going to do their best to compete with Simp and aBeZy. I think that really the last couple of years, if you're looking to build like a god squad that's going to take down FaZe, Shotzzy probably had to be like your #1 target to pick up. OpTic have achieved that, and they've got a great squad built around him with also good chemistry and the things that the FaZe guys have. So I can certainly see Ben's perspective here. They're like, yes, FaZe are still favourites going into the season to actually win the entire thing and like once again and dominate the year. I certainly hope they don't dominate the year quite as much as they did last year, right? Because it got kind of frustrating at times, frankly. The consistency of these guys to just win series after series after series. But I think OpTic probably have all the pieces to make that work. Even Rambo as coach as well is also a very viable option to make sure the team chemistry is going to stay on board and the guys are going to keep grinding as much as they need to stay as good as they need to. Because last year there was a couple of times, or there was one occasion specifically, I think at the start of Stage 5, when OpTic took down FaZe, they beat them in the Game 5, and they kind of thought, wow, this is it, we've done it officially, and they actually slacked off in scrims after that as a result of beating FaZe, which is the opposite of what you want to do, right? I don't think that'll be an issue with the OpTic team this year. With all the talent they have, they could certainly do it. FaZe still, though, go in as #1 seed, no doubt about that, but well, I'm sure we'll do power rankings here closer to the season start when the Boston team gets officially confirmed, and well, then OpTic may well be there or thereabouts. Wanted to say a couple of things here before we finish off the video, as we talked earlier on about the substitutes right now that some of these rosters have. Florida have Yeez, Ultra have Hixie, FaZe have Priestahh. I don't believe, apart from General and OpTic, anything else really has been confirmed as of yet. So of course we shall see. Other rosters are going to bring in other substitute players. They're probably going to leave it slightly closer to the time to see how people are performing in some of these early Challenger Cups. Then again, the next one of the Challengers Cup is in like 3 weeks' time, so they don't really have all that much time to sign some players on for next year. So, well, still certainly some names up for grabs on that opportunity in the Challenger side. But, how many players actually want to be substitutes, right? Given if you do get subbed into some of these top teams, it might not actually be the best for your stock going forwards, which is not really a question that you want to have, but it is something which is a reality at the present time in the CDL with no expansion necessarily on the horizon. This also for Bance, feel bad, just want Black Ops 3 back. Black Ops 3 Bance was obviously next level. At the time, there were some frustrating things in that game, but no doubt of any Call of Duty ever, that's the game I had the most fun on, guaranteed. Like all across the board, multiplayer, game battles, public matches, all this type of stuff was just absolutely phenomenal. Even the campaign was, well, the campaign was a bit trippy, to be fair. It was a bit of a weird one, but outside of that, the game was absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, I definitely agree with Bance on this trade. If they were going to remaster a game, Black Ops 2 would probably be the game I'd want remastered, to be honest. Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, just give me something at this point, to be honest. This just to finish out the video as well, given we're talking about OpTic. The OpTic guys are playing Scribblio or Scribble.io. I don't exactly know how you want to pronounce it, but it's a fun game, and Shotzi was really struggling to get the word right on this occasion. This guy honestly just cracks me up every single clip I see of him. But very much intriguing your thoughts and all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button, tells the YouTube gods this is a good video, and it's like you should see it as well, and help grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thanks for watching as always, take care, and I will see you next time.
What?
Wait, where do I type it?
Wait, dude, what?
Where do I type it?
It says type your guys here in the bottom right.
Oh,
wait,
baby.
That's not how you spell that.
No looking at chats. No looking at
let's
chats.
go, Tom. Let's go, Tom.
Let's get it, Sethy boy. Come on.
How do you spell that word?
Zin, are you serious? What is doing?
How do you spell that word?
Yes. Anthony did not
Dude. Nah, on that note, dude, I'm actually out. I'm not even going.
No.
Use a word.
You're good. Bro, listen, that happens sometimes, man. You'll have some brain farts here and there. You'll have some brain farts, man.